If you are interested in statistics around this year's summer internship, stick around till the end of this video. Hi, my name is Abhilash Aswal and I recently conducted a survey to understand how both companies and students acted upon during the summers with everything looming with uncertainty. I would like to thank everyone who participated in this survey for their valuable input and time. Let me just start off by describing the respondents. I received about 166 responses, out of which approximately 43% were females and 57% were males, an appropriate indicator to gender ratio in B schools. Almost 70% of the respondents were between 23 to 25 years old, and almost 30% of them had no work ex. Rest had some sort of work experience. First, we look at internship stats, where how many offers were honored by the firms as promised during the campus placement drives. 88% of the firms honored their offers, whereas 12% failed to do so. The firms which honored primarily belong to sales and marketing and finance, and varying across analytics, consulting, e-commerce, media, and others. Whereas the firms who resigned offers majorly belong to sales and marketing, with operations, manufacturing, consulting, trade, amongst others. Let's now focus on the offers which are resigned and see what were the reasons behind it. According to the respondents, 69% of the offers were resigned, citing the reason of COVID-19. 23% of them cited uncertainty as a reason, and around 7% of the offers were resigned due to ongoing layoffs in the organization. I also asked if the respondent was pursuing an internship right now despite cancellation, and 10% of the respondents couldn't find a new internship. For the 90% who found an alternate internship, almost 45% of them said to have found it through LinkedIn and other internship platforms. 36% had received help of the placement committee, and 18% used their referral to find an internship. Now let's get back to the respondents whose offers were honored. First, let's see how many of them started their internship on time. That is, first week of April. Almost 77% of the respondents faced a delay in their internship, and only 23% of them started on time. Next, let's see how much delay did they face. Almost 35% of the respondents faced a delay of 2 to 4 weeks, and 27% faced a delay of less than 2 weeks. 12% faced a delay of more than a month, and 2.5% of the respondents faced a delay of more than 2 months. Now let's talk about the project on which the interns got to work on. 84% of the respondents got a project which was relevant to companies' day-to-day operations. 12% of the respondents were unsure of that. Let's see what domain of the project was offered. Almost 21% of the respondents had a research-based project, 19% had HR-based projects, 27% of the people had a project related to marketing, and fractional split across trade, strategy, consulting, and others. Another important aspect to look at is how the company shaped up its guidelines during the COVID-19. According to the respondents, only 20% of them saw a revised PPO guideline. Rest were unsure or denied of any amendments. Next, the subject of stipend being offered. 17% of the respondents said that their stipend wasn't as promised during the placement drive. I also checked if the companies offered any extra compensation for electricity and internet expense. 95% of the respondents denied, and only 2.5% of the respondents received a little extra income. Now let's move to the aspect of networking in the organization. 78% of the respondents said that they were briefed about their project in detail. With regards to meeting the mentor, a mentor is somebody who is defined as the owner of the project. 18% of the people connected daily with them. However, 57% connected on a weekly basis, and 22% of the respondents connected on a monthly basis. Next, we look at how respondents connected with their buddy or guide. A buddy or guide is someone who is a stakeholder in the completion of the project. 84% of the respondents connected on a daily or a weekly basis, whereas almost 10% of the respondents did not have a guide. I also checked what could have been possible reasons for this distant communication. A quarter of the respondents did not face any problem, whereas the same quantum of people indicated a delayed response. 1/10 of the people claimed to be hesitant while contacting their superiors. While checking the overall readiness of the firm during the troubled times, maximum number of the respondents scored more than 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. Next, I inquired how many respondents would accept or reject a PPO and what would be the reason behind it. Almost 80% of the respondents said that they would accept a PPO, majorly citing reasons of relevant role offered and job safety. Only 6% said that they would reject the PPO because the company doesn't offer a PPO. Rest were in a dilemma. On evaluating the entire journey on some of these factors, these are some of the observations for virtual setup, project relevance, stipend, and work-life balance. Majority of the people were satisfied in all of these factors. If we talk about virtual setup, 58% were satisfied and 14% were unsatisfied with it. If we talk about project relevance, 67% of the respondents were satisfied and 15% were unsatisfied. If we talk about stipend, where we saw the maximum unsatisfaction percentage at about 25%, but the majority was satisfied. Lastly, about work-life balance, only 15% saw a poor work-life balance and 63% of the respondents were able to maintain a healthy balance. I also converted the responses into a quantitative model and assigned scores, and this is how the average intern scored on these factors. For virtual setup, the average score was 3.63 out of 5. For project relevance, the average score was 3.7 out of 5. For stipend, the average score was 3.43 out of 5. And for work-life balance, the average score was 3.69 out of 5. Last thing that I would like to talk about, and the most important in my opinion, is the emotional assessment. Just to digress a little, I recently had a live session with Mr. Hetal Sonpal on how to manage stress post-lockdown. If you are interested, I will leave the link at the end of the video. We discuss topics related to what can someone do when things are not under our control. Please check out that video and don't be afraid to talk with someone about it. You can even reach out to me if you feel I can help you in some way. Coming back to the results, according to the survey, an average intern faced a stress level of 3.4 on a scale of 1 to 5. But what was surprising was no respondent marked 1 as an answer. Talking about anxious behavior, a massive 72% of the people felt a little anxious about their summer internship offer. Another factor that impacts mental health is the constant on-screen time, and about 91% of the respondents felt their on-screen time had increased than before. Another indicator which affects mental health is the feeling of inclusion, and about a quarter of the people did not feel included in their internship. Also, many times we do not have a proper work setup at home and mindlessly end up in the bed while working in absurd postures. According to the survey, 55% of the respondents indicated that they were facing posture problems. This is the end of the results. I hope this gives you an insight about how firms and students fared in these times. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe if you want to watch more content related to MBA life. Thanks.